Iodine, the violet healer. Quote, "There are only four elements in the human body: water, salt, soda, and iodine." Traditional cultures had a diet rich in minerals and iodine. Iodine occurred naturally and was not added to the food. That being said, nuclear technology and its influence on atmospheric radioactive iodine, iodine-131, did not exist in their time. Their solutions, natural iodine-rich foods, when used often, can be more powerful than the best supplements. In France, seafood and oyster bars are called bars à iode, translation, iodine bars. The South Carolina marshlands are home to an abundance of natural oyster cluster formations. This natural cluster formation and steam opening technique were prized by Native Americans. The moniker for South Carolina was initially the Iodine State. High concentrations of iodine are found in the vegetation of the low country marshlands. The moniker for Charleston, spark of the Civil War, is the Holy City. The word holy actually means healing. The flag for the state depicts a palmetto tree. These trees were cut and used as shields to protect the city from invaders. Next to the palmetto is a half-moon shape, which is not actually a moon but a crescent. The crescent, or gorget, was used to protect the throat initially, and then worn by higher-ranking officers around the neck. The blue color points to the soldier's blue uniform. But here is the mystery of the flag. The uniforms were dyed with indigo. Indigo was grown almost exclusively in the Western world in South Carolina. The palmettos were naturally near coastal areas. Coastal areas are rich in iodine as the sun, humidity, and marshland bogs bring the iodine from the sea out into the atmosphere. Indigo grows only in rich, humid soil. These soils are often rich in iodine. So on this simple flag we have all three symbols pointing to iodine. Iodine is essential for the protection, maintenance, and functioning of the thyroid. Edgar Cayce, the lay healer, prescribed detoxified iodine over 2,500 times under the name of etomidine in his consultation archives. Did he, by intuition, understand that a modern thyroid epidemic was in the air? Here are the different roles of iodine: energy production, cardiovascular health, lowers blood cholesterol, aids in the breakdown and transporting of fat, physical strength, digestion of proteins, essential for the thyroid gland, component of thyroxine, regulation of body temperature, sugar metabolism, hormonal growth factor, fatty acid metabolism, amino acid metabolism, tissue formation, immune system booster, brain functions, anti-cancer potential. The iodine found in iodized table salt is harmful because it is not detoxified. Cayce raised this issue by his recommendation of a detoxified version. Celtic grey and humid sea salt from Brittany is the original iodine-rich salt. The humid or wet aspect is key here. Healthy iodine may be dried out from the air with central air units. Prefer an open window, year-round if possible. Cayce had such a success rate in his consultations that he upset the medical establishment of his day. Beyond the cascades of information surrounding us in this top-down, controlled media pyramid, he found, by trusting his intuition, many solutions removed from trend, fashion, or the mindset of the times. The first question he asked his patients was, "Do you really want to heal?" It's a bit like asking someone if he wants to change everything in his life. Without healthy iodine in the body, we would have no defense against the binding of atmospheric radioactive iodine. Thyroid problems and general health are here concerned. Seaweed can be a useful aid, but be careful. It is very easy to overdose one's consumption of seaweed and therefore iodine. For some, even a teaspoon of seaweed is too much, too stimulating. If you are experiencing a lack of energy, change of voice, lack of libido, cold hands, thermoregulation, hair loss, or problems digesting fats, you may have thyroid issues. If you are taking lithium or have taken thyroid medication, it is recommended that you talk to a good doctor before taking iodine. Concerning thyroid health, Native Americans used the bovine thyroid gland to treat their cold diseases, and Western doctors advocated the same thing before the chemical synthesis of pharmaceutics with excellent results. Keep your mind open in your initiatory voyage towards better health. You can test basal temperature with a thermometer under the armpit and order literature from the website Stop Thyroid Madness or other informed websites which show you how to read your lab analysis. Mary Shomon is a good source for this. In my case, I use natural pig glandular-based pharmaceutical thyroid pills from Vietnam, where the pigs are fed a traditional diet including iodine-rich fish heads, unlike swine in the USA, which are fed questionable GMO soy and glyphosate corn. I had 4 different blood tests throughout my experience and bought many books on the subject. The glandular pills are made with pharmaceutical galenic exactitude. This exactitude is key to address the endocrine system. These pig glandulars help me get through the roughest part, and my sensation method homeopathic remedy helped me to finally come off of the pig thyroid glandular pills after a year of treatment. Do not program your mind with the idea that a treatment is for life. Things can really heal. Not always, but quite often. For me, this is true. I am now free of medication. I used to eat a seaweed salad made from kelp, pickles, capers, and olive oil on a bi-monthly basis, but now I find it too concentrated. I prefer lobster, which can be found fresh or frozen depending on your budget. Raw Jersey coastal iodine-rich milk, a daily spoon of salmon eggs, which costs $1.50 per day when bought frozen in bulk, and oysters as often as possible. As the body heals, it pulls away from overly concentrated remedies that once worked wonders. Isigny butter from France, Finlandia butter, Alpine butter, German butters, Eastern Bloc butters, Irish butters without soy, or other coastal butter sources can provide a highly absorbable form of iodine as well. I stay away from most store-bought dairy and have had to focus on other animal foods as a replacement, as the thyroid sensitivity to dairy is still in the background, especially if I need to heal or detox. Certain exceptions, such as my homemade ice cream, custard, or creamy curds recipes, may be found in this book. My body has gained more overall density, not only from the normal aging process, but also as a way to create warmth in the absence of full thyroid capacity. The virgin coconut oil trend, better known in the United States, has only begun to make its appearance in France. We are not talking about refined or deodorized coconut oil, but the virgin cold-press version. In 10 years, there will undoubtedly be a greater interest in this product in Europe because of its antimicrobial value, heating properties, and its short-chain energy stores, which are readily catalyzed. With its heating properties, thermogenesis, it helps regulate the basal metabolism and thyroid-associated problems, hypo and hyper. If you already collect an array of healthy traditional fats, including moulard duck fat, imported lard or bacon, and bright yellow butter, then you may not need much coconut butter. But it has helped many to transition back to a fat-adapted diet. Vanilla beans, naturally fermented vanilla extract, and raw dates, only if they are not steam-treated, can help balance the thyroid. According to one UK study, milk is the richest source of iodine in the UK. It is the same for the USA. The quality of the soil cannot be overcome by dipping the cow's teats in iodine solution, although this practice in and of itself is a good one. I used to test different raw creams in France, and only those with a high iodine, interesting standalone taste from the Isigny region of Normandy were able to be consumed without triggering my thyroid or tiring me. Other studies, such as the one in Elsevier magazine on food chemistry, Volume 178, July 2015, page 327 to 330, show that iodine concentrations in milk are depleted by industrialization, pasteurization, and especially UHT processing. The race and especially the soil in the region are the major initial factors. As we need iodine to detoxify the body and break down the potentially toxin-filled fatty tissue, we should not be surprised that we need more and more iodine the more toxins we have to keep out or eliminate. Maybe this is why the Native Americans took pains to set up supply lines and take trips to the coastal regions. Even warring tribes would allow the food supply lines to continue as they knew how essential they were. Personally, when I drink certain A2 raw Jersey milk from the coastal regions, excepting Central and Southern California, I sense that the milk has regained something that even the raw Jersey milk I drank in France had lost. Industrial milk, poor in iodine, may even be harmful, as it may steal iodine from the thyroid as it passes through this area upon swallowing, whereas a healthy iodine-rich milk will share its abundance of iodine with the thyroid tissue. Opposite effect. Vanilla beans or extract can be of service here. In Appalachia, beginning with Asheville in North Carolina, there is a goiter belt, a region known for iodine deficiency-related goiter surgeries. These mountain regions are more fragile to any change in traditional foods, cabbage fermentation techniques, butter, and milk quality, or even to toxins found in the air and water supply. These symptoms may go undetected or manifest as debility, cretinism, malformations, retardation, flaccid skin, paleness, etc. A slowness or lack of form in the mind and body passed down through genetics. I have found many people in these goiter belts to be suffering from many conditions that iodine wisdom could have healed by way of the detoxification of everything from toxins to heavy metals to endocrine disruptors. The thyroid may also be hindered by volatile particles, VOCs, airborne radioactive iodine-131, radon-228 found in bathwater, nanoparticle aluminum, or other contaminants sprayed into the air. List non-exhaustive. In these conditions, avoiding the toxin or an IQ air gas filter is required. See the chapter Making It Better. Seaweed tartare. This can be made using a combination of gently dried seaweeds such as dulse. One can add capers, pickles, and olive oil to the seaweeds to make a tapenade or spread. Capers concentrate iodine in the mountainous regions, which may otherwise be more deficient in iodine. This iodine-rich food is great for vegetarians and vegans as well. Dulse may also be eaten in very small quantities, every so often, depending on the phase of healing or needs you may have. Since my thyroid is stable, I no longer need the concentrated iodine in seaweed. Iodine can be found in other more regular foods as well, such as seafood, oyster, crab, lobster, etc. Soy is harmful to the thyroid. It contains iatrogenic compounds which bind to thyroid receptor sites and severely disrupt the endocrine system. The relationship between goiter surgery and the consumption of soy is well established and has been for a long time. Soy milk, as a drink, did not exist in Asia, at least not until the 20th century. Products containing soy, such as tofu, were traditionally fermented, and Asians consumed on average less than 20 grams per day. In addition, soybeans have been modified through intensive hybridization.